Hello, it's John Heaton, and today I'm going to do a sort of preview of the film coming out about John and Yoko's one-to-one concert, which I think it's already had its preview showing yesterday in London, and it goes on wider release tomorrow, and I'm actually flying to London tomorrow, so I'm hoping to catch it. If it's on at some cinema in the London area, I'll be watching it. Very excited about it. It's got good reviews. It's a fascinating period, this Bank Street period. But before I get into it, I just want to pay tribute to Clem Burke, who's just died from Blondie. Here he is, here. He's the drummer, and he's on every single Blondie album. Great drummer, very lively, and a great guy by all accounts, and sad. He was only 70 years old, and he's part of the iconic Blondie lineup, of course, and has been on all the recent albums as well. So let's move on to John and Yoko. So very happy to receive this gift from the Lennon estate. Arrived yesterday. It's a 4-track EP released for Record Store Day, which is tomorrow, but they sent it in advance here with a card addressed to me here, with some notes from Sean about what it was like remixing the one-to-one concert. Said it was quite hard work because of the way that the mics had been arranged, and he sent a whole lot of stickers as well. You are John Lennon, you are dreaming. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with those, but nice to have. But this 4-track EP includes Well, 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 Instant Karma, Cold Turkey, and Don't Worry, Yoko. And it's a kind of taster, because Sean said in a recent interview that the whole thing is going to be, the whole concert has been remixed. These 4 tracks have obviously been remixed as well. The whole concert's been remixed. It will be released in October to coincide with John's birthday and Sean's birthday. So that's good news. One hopes that it's going to be the whole concert, including the Yoko numbers, because all we have at the moment is this live album from 1986. This is my Indian pressing with the alternate back cover, which actually, if we're honest, was not very well produced. John's vocals were very high in the mix, and the rest of the band sounded very thin. And I'm hoping that when it's remixed, it'll beef up the sound, and the bass in particular, because it was a disappointing album there. Although on the Lennon Anthology, I think there were a couple of performances from the evening show, which by all accounts was better than the afternoon show. I'm not sure which show the live album came from. But anyway, not Yoko's finest hour there, but Sean's hopefully sort of rectified the situation and come up with a decent remix. Let's hope so. And there's going to be a box set in October as well. By the way, this leaflet as well came with the package, and it's got some quotes from John and Yoko about the one-to-one concert. The only full-length concert John gave after the split before he died, so it's quite memorable in that respect. So the box set, I assume, is going to include both afternoon and evening full audio, and Sean has said that the video will follow. I'm not sure if that's a couple of months later or next year. So that's something to look forward to. The documentary, as I say, comes out tomorrow, and it's a fascinating period, the Bank Street period. They've got the producer and director were given access to lots of phone calls made at the time, because John thought his phone was being tapped, so he recorded some of his phone calls to try and get evidence of that. So that's all in the documentary. I'm not sure how much documentary and how much concert footage it's going to be, what kind of mixture. But anyway, it's a fascinating period. We've got loads of live appearances John and Yoko made in that 18-month period when they're living at 105 Bank Street, which, by the way, is, if you're in the New York City area, it's well worth a visit. I mean, there's no plaque saying John and Yoko lived here, but it's fascinating to just walk to that street, and I did walk to that street when I was in New York 9 years ago. It's a bit of a hike. We got off the ferry from Statue of Liberty, and we thought, well, this isn't the Lower East Village, it can't be far, so we walked, and it was miles. So just be warned, it's I guess you get the metro. Anyway, it's a very quiet suburban street, and John and Yoko used to come and go and ride their bicycles around the village, go to the local shop to buy food and groceries and stuff. Fascinating, really, to think how accessible they were to the fans. I'm not sure how many fans took advantage of the situation, or how sort of molested they were. So I think one of the reasons they moved to the Dakota was to get some more privacy, because they were a little bit exposed. But obviously we all know how that ended, sadly. But it's a fascinating period, Bank Street. The whole build-up to the 1972 election, we've got Lennon's political agenda, as I say, all those live appearances, and then in the middle of it, sometime in New York City, which I guess is not going to be part of this upcoming box set, although it's going to be a bit strange having a big box set on the one-to-one without mentioning the album. And as we know, that they skipped that album and went straight to Mind Games in terms of the archive releases. And I'm not sure whether it was just because of the N-word in Woman is the End of the World, or just because it didn't sell very well. Maybe Sean thought it wasn't worth doing a box set, but it's a fascinating period and it's a fascinating album. Even though it's not maybe top-notch Lennon material, it's still worth investigating if you're a Lennon fan. And they were a very active couple in '72, and this concert is one of the things they did, but they did loads of other things. They appeared on chat shows, they hosted chat shows in the US, and they were just basically very visible, playing with Chuck Berry, etc. So we look forward to the documentary. I just want to show you this video. I've got this DVD. This is the United States against John Lennon. That's obviously not John Lennon's hand. That's quite interesting. Shows all the efforts of the government, Nixon government, to kick him out of the country. So there's that as another backdrop to the period, which makes it interesting. Obviously that attempt failed ultimately, and Lennon was issued with a green card in '76. So thank you, Sean and Yoko, for sending me this. I haven't played it yet, but I will do, and I'm looking forward to the full concert, obviously, and thank you for watching. We'll see you next time.